I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everything good with the agenda? Everybody receive a copy of the minutes?
Yes.
Motion to approve the minutes from,
Yes, Tom, I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, who's seconding?
Oh, sorry, didn't hear you say that.
Roll call. Yeah, Megan?
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Brett,
yes,
Sue,
Yes.
myself, yeah.
okay, the treasurer's report,
General fund beginning balance, $472,905.83. Ending balance, $465,266.30. Fire fund beginning balance, $364,363.15. Ending balance, $361,175.36. The law fund beginning balance, $223,410.02. Ending balance, $222,397.04. Transfer station fund beginning balance, $179,252.34. Ending balance, $171,698.73. Airport fund beginning balance, $358,174.30. Ending balance, $354,532.49. Marina fund beginning balance, $458,669.23. Ending balance, $455,685.33. And you can see more detailed transactions for the month on the financial report that I gave a copy to all of you.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Any budget amendments?
No,
We have a motion to pay the bills,
Make that motion.
Second.
roll call. Megan,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Brett,
yes,
Sue,
Yes.
myself, yes.
all right, department reports, airport. These, they're working on the west end, see if they got about everything chopped down,
I saw that.
all the
Yeah,
rocks.
so they're out there. It looked like they had truck trouble. They had their hood up on that one truck.
He did, it wasn't
Okay.
shifting,
Oh,
but
okay.
I think he got it taken care of.
So they're moving some of those big rocks and stuff out of the way too, so it's easier to take.
We
That's
should be able to
great.
mow it, yeah.
That's great. We did get notification today too. I didn't print that out, but that the bids were all accepted and approved for the runway rehabilitation project. We should be getting that contract here within the next week or so anyway. It'll have to be signed and returned then so that we can continue working through the project quickly.
Fire,
Only thing we really have to talk about is me and Diane had a conference call with the head of Mackinac Island Marine Rescue, 911 coordinator, Bryce Tracy, and then, can't remember the lady's name that heads up the EMS program over on Mackinac Island.
Yeah.
And a couple other people were there, but I don't remember their names.
Right.
But basically, it came down to everybody wants to work together to make sure that Mackinac Island Marine Rescue gets some funding for helping take care of the fuel costs and personnel costs because they bring EMS over with them. So they sent us a breakdown basically of what it cost them last year to come here. It depending on how much the price of fuel was when they came at the time, it varied from anywhere from 2,500 to 2,900 total for their runs last year. Now, this year it went up because we did have more runs and of course costs are higher, but it was between 3,400 and 3,900. So, Bryce is working up on an agreement that he's gonna have everybody go over first and then sign, and then we'll figure out how to help. We haven't come to an actual conclusion on yet if it's gonna be a Did we, Diane, when we were talking, was it gonna be they were gonna bill us per run, or we were just gonna kind of come up with an average to try to figure out for the
I
season?
think the way that we left it is that, for initial, we may, look at a set fee per, it'll either be per run or it'll be a set fee per year. It's gonna be an estimate, so knowing that, you might be higher or lower than that, and we'll have to monitor it to see how it goes. Figuring out how we're gonna do this was part of the problem, because they can't really bill for it. What we came up with was an intergovernmental agreement. And we can both enter into an intergovernmental agreement that will spell everything out, that says Mackinac, Marine Rescue will assist, Boblo Island at an estimated rate of this per run or per annual, and it'll be billed at the end of the season. So basically, it'll be billed probably by the 1st of November every year, something like that.
So we just need to set up a line item on your budget,
Right.
put money in it,
That's kind of what we're gonna have to do.
and make sure we've got enough to cover
That's
the
kind of,
high end of what you think.
yeah, kind of a
is our
short
average.
term fix anyway. One of the other things we did discuss was the fact that, initially, years ago, when we started Brightwater Park, part of that plan was to put a pier in down there so that it would help with emergency rescue, and that would cut the costs probably in half.
All of it, yeah, I would say
At
easily.
least, easily in half, and it would get people to a hospital quicker too, by going to St. Ignace. So, I assured them that that plan hasn't necessarily gone away. We have engineered drawings, we went through the feasibility study, we have everything that we need. It's just that the cost is astronomical and we don't have the funding to do that, so. They're, aware of that. We talked about some possible sources and some different things, and I think everybody's gonna kind of keep their eyes and ears open too. And see what we can do. They'll support us in however they can.
Yeah, they even looked at different ways to try to have insurance cover it, and just because of
Right,
ownership and licensure, there was just no way that it could be done.
there isn't. So, but there was, like you said, there were there were reps there from 911, from Mackinac Rescue. From, the Mackinac City Clerk was there, and myself and Brandon, and it's definitely everybody working together.
Anything else?
That's it.
Okay.
Brandon, I got one thing I was gonna
Yeah.
ask you about, you don't get a copy of these bills, so, but I know you're aware of them to some extent. The air gas bills, I mean, and I'm not saying don't do it, I know we have to do it, but they've been really high. And I realize that part of that is the oxygen, and you guys have been looking at or thinking about doing something so that you can fill your own oxygen and stuff.
It's gonna be hard to ever make that happen.
Really?
I've looked into it just because of, you have to be so careful with where you're drawing air from and licensure and inspections and.
So it's not just a matter of equipment to be
No,
able
it's-
to
it's
do
more-
it,
it's-
there's a lot of other stuff to do it
License
too.
and certifications too.
Because air gas is, just for this last month, was over $500. And they've
Well,
been heavier than
some of
some,
it's, some of
but
it's gone up because we're,
Hazmat.
well, that. They're terrible to deal with. Every time I call them, they either don't pick up our tanks. Or they
Yeah.
don't bring them back. I gotta call and find out where they're at. Then they drop them off and we get twice what we wanted, which not necessarily bad things. We're gonna have to
Right.
be using it eventually anyways, but. They're terrible.
Yeah, and then they've changed the address
right,
to Kurt's building,
do we,
For-
um,
whatever unknown reason.
are there any other options? There probably isn't, is there, other than air gas?
But, well, now that we're renting some tanks too, because we're
Mhm.
going through them a little bit more than we used to, so we have more on hand. Some of that, so.
Maybe
used
we
to-
had to buy a couple more tanks then.
The problem with that though, as we found, is anytime they come up for their hydrostatic test. They don't necessarily call us and let us know, hey, your tank needs to be tested, it gets sent out. Well, because now, they used to fill tanks in Gaylord. Now everything is, they come up here, pick up the tanks. They don't fill them in Gaylord anymore. Everything goes to Lansing.
Oh, well, that's part of the
And come
increase in
back. So there's
cost.
no local place. But then when we get a tank that has to be tested, it's gone for a month to 2 months before it comes back.
Wow,
Right.
So I mean, we could buy our own tanks again or get more. But really, it's not cost effective because cause if we have our own tank. They take it and then we gotta wait for that one to come back. If we're leasing theirs,
they just swap
they
them.
just swap a tank out. Which, in a couple of big calls, we go through a vast majority of oxygen. And if we gotta wait for those tanks to come back, the next person might be in trouble because we don't have any O2 laying around.
If we had a better relationship with a hospital around here, I would suggest that we might be able to do something in conjunction with a hospital.
I think,
But-
yeah, I think a lot of like hospital, even some of their tanks and stuff, there's certain air that they still get trucked in. That's not all just made on site.
Okay, sorry, just thought I'd bring it up.
No, yeah, no, it's a good point. It's just, it's
Yeah.
not an easy
Fixed.
hurdle to get over.
Anything else?
Nope.
Alright. Harbor, think everything.
Anybody know anything about?
Tom's at the conference right now, the Harbor Conference, that's why he's not
I
here.
thought it got canceled. I got
Uh,
notification that they canceled it unless
I
they
don't know.
moved it.
He called and said he was down there.
Oh.
Maybe he didn't get notification until he was already there.
So, I'm not sure what happened with that, or it got down there and it got canceled, but.
Looking in the
Alright.
window. Whoa.
So, yeah, I haven't heard much from him, I know we gotta close up the harbor on 15th. Hopefully everyone will have their boats out. And we early get the piers and stuff moved, so we don't get more damage like we've had in the past.
I do know he said something to me about, flotation docks was over to do some analysis and they were putting some numbers and some things together and a review of what they found. So,
You guys thinking of dredging there? Between the North Pier and the beach? Taking that area?
They've talked about it.
Yeah, we are not, but the harbor commission has talked about it.
There's some, they're working on some kind of.
Yeah.
That's a process.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay, anything for law?
I did get a phone call, last week and there is another individual that they're looking at that actually came to them. Don't know how serious he is about the possibility of coming here, but he is a veteran law enforcement officer, 20+ years. And he hasn't discounted the possibility of coming here, but they had some questions about possibility of his wife is a teacher, I guess, the possibility of employment in another way. If they lived here year round, what would that look like, et cetera. So just inquiries right now.
Okay, cemetery, we have burial rights for Kevin and Mary Deere.
It is just one plot and I would make that motion to grant burial rights.
Tom, I'll second. She had never been to the cemetery
She hadn't?
until,
Oh, wow.
Tim's wife passed. It's the first time she'd been there.
Yeah. Roll call, Megan,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Brent,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
myself, yes.
Okay, anything else for cemetery or?
No,
Alright.
Missy said, oh, things are slowing down, so. we're
Parks
good.
and Rec,
We're getting the vaulted toilet in at Brightwaters Park, tomorrow, I understand. So that's exciting. And we do have a meeting tomorrow and, Rick did a great job getting in the kiosk on the North Shore. And hopefully in the spring, we'll get the other kiosks at the other park, Brightwaters. And we're, the
The other one.
Oh, the other one,
Nichols Point, that's
Yeah.
right. Other than that, no big news with Parks and Rec.
okay,
Is there a sign now off of, Limestone Point Road, that,
There is not a sign on there yet, and we do need to follow through with that and just.
Brightwater Park.
Right, I do know I talked to Dirk though, and they don't want the signs attached to. Oh, we could do it to the street sign, we just can't attach it to like, if there's a stop sign anyplace, we can't attach anything there. But we could attach something to the street sign that says Brightwater Park with an arrow or
Why
something,
don't you just put it on the side of that building, the big one?
we could.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, we could do it.
Don Balbo, he called, he was confirming who the vaulted toilets, is in the responsibility of the Parks and Rec or the harbor, but it's the harbor. I
Yeah,
understand, so.
well, not at the park, it's not.
No, but at.
Down there,
the
yeah.
dock, so-
At the dock, yeah.
Yeah, there's
Yes.
a little confusion, but it was confirmed, so.
Okay, anything else?
Well,
Planning?
next meeting, we've had some scheduling conflicts, so our next meeting will be October 29th on a Wednesday. That fits everybody's schedule. It gives us a chance to get a little more input on, the PUD, which we had the public hearing for first of the month. The language of the green belt and, the Heinz or, ordinance that was, not redone, but being resubmitted, as it was back in 2014, so. The public hearing on that, thought went very well. A lot of people just didn't understand, the language of, the different things, so. We had, Greg from Coast, planning with us on Zoom. He was able to explain, in great detail, the different aspects, advantages, disadvantages to, like with the PUD and, things like that. So it was, very educational and, overall, I think it was, very positive.
Okay. Anything else?
That's it.
Thank you. Transfer station?
I really have nothing for you either. Everything's good down there. Just had a truck last Thursday and everything's cleaned. I went and filled all the potholes. I don't know, probably nobody noticed,
I did.
but.
well, thank you.
I just do it for the exercise. Um. Yeah, like I said, nothing, I have nothing and
How do I how can we get rid of, electronic TVs and, boxes from DirecTV and remotes, and is there anything on the island?
no, we
Just
just.
take it off.
Yeah, the transfer station takes TV, so.
The transfer station does take a TV?
Yeah, they're $15 a month.
Okay, all right.
And then, scrap trailer, I brought my scrap trailer down there, that's going good, everybody.
Yeah, people seem.
Seems to wanna put something in it, it's
Yeah.
kinda funny that, how that works, but. Everything's good.
Okay. Zoning is going pretty good. We just got another permit today. I think we've had 14 so far. But it's been pretty good year.
Mhm.
Maintenance,
As Megan said, I got the North Shore kiosk in. We got the fences up around the harbor bathrooms. And just recently moved the old zero turn from the airport over to here. Got it into the maintenance shed that we have at this location. And had some trees trimmed on the back side of the Wagner room because they were really starting to mess with the roof.
okay. Anything else?
That is probably it for right now.
All right. Clinic committee,
All I know is they're coming over to do flu shots.
Yeah, I know they were trying to contact us about a date, I don't
I think
know.
it's a Wednesday.
Yeah, Lanny posted on the Facebook page, yeah.
okay, old business, we have a website.
Yes, we did get a proposal from Civic Clarity, so I made you all a copy of that. It is quite lengthy, about 34 pages, and a couple pages of additional information. I did let her know that I will be presenting that to you guys, and then we would need some time to look that over and probably not vote on it until the next meeting, or if we have a special in between now and then.
Yeah, we're probably gonna have to get together on the contract for the airport anyway. So maybe we can schedule a special and get this and that, and, I may have another document to go along with the short-term rentals
Are
to,
we letting somebody else go and entertain somebody new, or is this brand new? Is this the first time we've done this?
That's a brand new company.
Right.
Yeah.
Are they replacing another company?
LIAA is going through some changes.
Okay,
That we discussed at the last meeting,
Right.
and so that was the reason for
Looking at
seeking
another-
another company's input.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, the next item is audit.
just wanted everybody to know that we did just complete the audit. I don't have the reports yet, those will be coming, so you'll each get a copy of it that you can read through and look at whenever you want to. Probably fall asleep. But, results basically were fine. We asked if there was anything in particular that we had to be really aware of and with corrective action, and she said, no, most of it was just fine. There were a couple things she pointed out that Megan and I both want a little more information on, but no, she said nothing to worry about. With that, though, what I probably should mention to you is when you look at, your treasurer's report with the accounts. Next month, the general will show quite a bit less. Because between now and the next month, we will follow up with the auditors on the final amounts to transfer to Parks and Rec. From the stuff that was, Nichols Point set
Okay.
aside.
All right, public comment?
Lately, I also know there's been a lot of talk on Facebook and stuff. How long has it been since the township did a survey? Of like people's interest as to how they feel everything's going?
I don't know that we did surveys in general of the whole populace before the master plan came, but that
Right.
was a different type of survey. Before that, there was survey that Parks and Rec had
Parks and
done
Rec.
from a different perspective, but I don't know that we've done,
How would you do it?
Something.
I don't know how you would.
I could potentially put something out. I had talked about doing a newsletter with taxes. I could
We had been
potentially
talking
put
about newsletter again.
a question, we could put a question and answer portion in there or something. People could return with their taxes. It's an option. It's also an option that with this there's quite a bit that this website company offers. And it would probably be very easy that is something I saw on their website that
Right.
they've done in other townships, other municipalities, to put some type of survey on the website as well.
The hardest part I have with a lot of it is that Facebook seems to be the place to go to share whatever information you think you want, but it isn't constructively relayed back here as
That's
to
why I was thinking.
my
if
questions and
township put
concerns.
An actual survey of some sort
Yeah,
to, to full-time residents, all the property owners, just to get feedback.
Well, I know what you're talking about, and I know what you're talking about, cause I've been following along, and pretty much what it boils down to is people are too lazy. Well, even while they're here, to come to a meeting or come to the township and get their own information, they infer whatever they want to on Facebook and nobody. All they wanna do is think that the township is doing stuff behind everybody's
Yeah.
back, but they have as much right to come to a meeting as the
Sure.
rest of us,
Yes.
but as much as they wanna complain, you never see them sitting here.
Well, yes, a lot of the residents that were commenting on Facebook, I have not ever seen it. Since I've started, I haven't seen it at a meeting either.
No,
Well,
I think it's a waste of money.
I had a conversation with somebody and he's like, you know, these are all people's second homes. If you can afford a second home, you should have the means to come up here if it really meant that much to you.
Mhm.
Well, and they wonder why they don't, I mean, your second house, you get to pick one where you get to vote.
Yes.
Which one you wanna vote at? After that, stop
Well,
complaining.
there's a little, I'm following Facebook, they were saying, a lot of people, we need a chance to vote. Well, actually, you can't vote unless you're a registered voter, and what do they mean by vote? I mean, and some things they cannot vote on because
Mhm.
only the
I think
township or.
I think a lot of it is they want their voices
Yeah.
heard, but then yet again, they never come to any of these meetings or hearings or anything to voice their opinion. Or
Right,
their ideas.
That is
or
what the
whatever.
public hearing
Yeah.
was for, was
Right.
established for.
I will say even as much. As that kind of blew up before the plan, trust me, if you have a different opinion, let me know. We were full. And as he said, it went very well, and there at first, I think the very first thing that was thrown out was. Is there something going on behind our backs here that we need a PUD? No,
oh, yeah,
let us explain to you why, what this is for. And when they understood that, it was like, oh, I agree with you, okay, fine.
right,
It's a PUD.
A planned unit development. So people immediately think PUDs, thinks that you're gonna have some kind of a big. Condominium complex or
Mhm.
housing development or whatever, it's not that there's something in the plans. The thing is, if you don't plan for somebody wanting to do this, then you don't have any parameters around what can and can't be done.
Well, it puts rules in place
Yeah,
to guide those things in the right direction instead of letting them just freelance and do whatever they want.
but yeah, I
so-
think a survey is good public relations, good PR. You know, maybe it's a waste of money, but at least you're making an effort to say, we wanna know what you think, you're gonna get the same.
Who's gonna go
bitch a
through all
bitch from-
these?
You're gonna get, pardon me?
Who's gonna go through all of them?
When I collect the
Yeah.
tax bills, so that's,
I will assist.
So basically, there's
You know,
hours
that's
spent for you to
That's
go
what I
through, and
think.
what are you gonna mark down? I mean,
and it,
looking forward,
there,
that would be something we could incorporate into the website very easily, and it auto populates all of the
And it-
information.
And
delete,
doing a survey, it could be
delete.
like
That's
one thing, it doesn't have to be like
Right.
open, what's your opinion on this? And then you get whatever opinions.
Right,
Well, you just segued me into something that I think you're working so hard. I think we need an office person to help you. Somebody who can maybe do this instead of you, so they can pay attention. Somebody who can do the survey. I mean, you guys are overtaxed. I mean, everything that comes across your desk,
Right.
you have to finish it. It's like when I'm living by myself, I can do my own dishes, I can do this. When I'm with Peggy, she helps me out, you know? And you guys need some help. I would love to see an administrative position established for the township. I know people will bitch about it, but you guys need help. I know how
Well-
hard you work.
we'll
Okay.
work on it for next budget.
I'll get it right. I'll get off
Yes.
my,
yes.
We'll
I
work on it for
appreciate-
next
I
budget, but we
appreciate
do
your
appreciate
input.
it.
Thank
I
you.
feel guilty asking you sometimes to do things for me, you
Yeah.
know? And because I know how busy you all are. And you know.
Anybody
You have a
else?
lot that nobody knows about.
Anybody else for public comment?
Okay,
No.
sorry, Joe.
Okay, new business, we have, Mackinac County.
Yeah.
Match agreement.
The county, actually sent this over, it pretty much just lays out everything that we've talked about, that they're going to, they already passed their side of it. So it is an intergovernmental agreement, just like we were talking about with Mackinac Rescue, that says, we're gonna give you your 10,000 a year, but this is the way in which we're gonna do it anymore. So it's gonna be a lump sum, and it'll be, given to you, I think it's supposed to be toward the end of the year every year, although I see an April 15th. Yeah, April 15th is when they passed it. And September is when they're going
September,
to
yeah.
actually
September, yeah.
cut it to us. And so it's like, they're pretty much just asking us to agree to what they've laid out. I wanted to say, well, what happens if we don't agree? But I guess it means you don't have an governmental agreement and they won't pay it.
And you won't get that 10,000.
Right.
Okay.
It is pretty basic.
Would we have a motion to enter into a intergovernmental agreement with Mackinac?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second. Roll call, Megan?
Yes.
Tom,
Yes,
Brett,
Yes.
Sue? Yes. Myself, yes. Brett, we'll have to have you sign it.
All right. Okay, road sign installation.
I see we're missing some signs.
Yeah, so. Dirk copied me and I think I gave you a
Yeah.
copy of it, yeah. On an email that came from somebody that went directly to the road commission rather than to us on, I guess, a road sign that's missing and some signs that, posts that need to be replaced. We will need to figure out what we wanna do about that, but Joe also brought to my attention that ICI has always done this work for us. He really is not interested in doing it any longer. So we're gonna have to decide on what type of a process we're gonna have to do it. If we wanna take bids for somebody to take that work, if we wanna do it internally with maintenance people. The problem is going to be probably that there's times, like you said, sometimes you need equipment to do it with. So, if it's just a replacement of the road sign and the post is there, it's fine, but if we have to actually replace the post, it might.
Now
be
that
an
the
issue.
posts are gone,
Yeah,
do you want me to order the signs? You know, I still have a record of all the signs we've ordered and the posts, and you have an inventory.
Yeah, and we still have some,
Right.
I think we still have some posts.
Post brackets
Do
and the
you? Oh, okay.
screws, set screws, all the
So-
signs, but
I don't know, that's what we need to figure out. Yes, we need to order the sign and you can order it or I can,
you
it
want me to
doesn't
do it?
matter.
I can do it, 'cause I got a list still on my
That's fine.
laptop. Okay,
What
I'll
we
do it.
do need to do though is we're gonna have to
Plan for the future.
determine what we're gonna do for process moving forward, how we're gonna handle it, and we can always inventory some of the posts in the maintenance shed
Mhm.
so that we've got them. I did talk to Dirk just to make sure, is there any kind of rules, regulations we need to know? He gave me a couple of guidelines. Obviously, if we're gonna put anything that's even close to the edge of the road, you've gotta get a hold of Miss Dig and make sure that we don't hit something underneath. So we're gonna have to put process in place and figure out how we handle it.
How did he, you didn't pour cement, they put the hole and put it in, there's no cement in there, was there?
Some of them we end up that were repeatedly stolen, we finally put some re-rod or a plate on the bottom of the post and dug it and buried it, and those ended up staying.
Okay,
The one out at the end of Fire Tower, right at the North Shore, that one, literally bedrock is down about that far,
Ah.
so.
So it can't go very far
Yeah.
anyway.
No, so I don't really know what the answer is for that one, except take,
Yeah.
you know, molding a concrete base to it and put it out there. Somebody would
Yeah.
probably hook onto it and drag down the road.
I
I
know.
don't know.
I know it's frustrating all the way around,
Yeah.
but I also know the signs need to be there,
Yeah.
so.
I mean, whoever ends up doing it, if they wanna get a hold of me or whatever, I can kinda give them a little heads up on what I'm gonna find in certain areas.
Well.
I think for the most part is all the posts are pretty much in place, so it'd be
Yeah.
just a matter of sign. Yeah.
So I would
Yeah.
think most of the time that would be something that would be under maintenance, Rick. How
I
would
think
you
that's
feel about
because
that?
they're on a corner and, you know,
Right,
might have missed the corner late at night and instead of leaving it there, they took it home.
Yeah, there's a couple of them they mentioned out by Lake Mary, I guess, that
Yeah,
have been bent. on.
Sarah and Maple Avenue
And
sign
so
was.
I
Hit by a
have to
vehicle,
replace it.
needs to be fixed.
So,
okay.
Yeah, that one never lasts long.
no. Which one?
Oh, Rick
Sarah?
had a sharp.
Yeah, Roger.
Yeah.
Rogers, yeah.
Yeah, every time we put that one out, that one's like weeks later.
And Corey gets a lot of people.
Correspondence and meetings,
yeah,
we have your fire department memo.
yeah, that's just for your information. The other is a Mackinac County, Board of Commissioners that was passed last night. We just got that today. It's basically for your information. And then actually, I don't have one other thing. We did get a, letter from a taxpayer here about concerns with vehicles on the beach at Snow Beach. I'm gonna pass that along to Parks and Rec, because he's saying, first of all, is there any signage that we can put in place that basically says no vehicles are allowed? I know that it's a general law, you
Yeah,
know,
it's a
that
state
they
law.
can't, but what do we do? I mean, we haven't had law here this year, so that's part of it too, but
I mean, we could put
We
a,
could
Parks and Rec
put-
could put a sign Nichols Point down.
right,
But as far as
On
the
our-
rest of Snow Beach, they would have to, the
Right.
citizens could put a sign up if they wanted to, but.
right. It sounded to me like has been that area where, that is now owned by the township.
Okay,
So maybe when we put up the signs that say
Private
nothing
property.
beyond this, property beyond this point is private. Maybe we can also put a couple of signs up close to the road, but in front of the beach area or something
Mhm.
that says.
the cut in there at Snow Beach that people use to park to go to the beach, is, does anybody own that?
That's ours.
That is ours. I would suggest putting one there too.
That's
maybe
Fishers
just
that
as
are
a
launching
reminder.
there.
No, right on the corner, you mean?
Right on the corner, yeah,
That's a,
big
that's
cut
a
in,
public access.
the public access,
Yeah,
yeah.
now it is.
It is now because it's
All township, but that's Fishers that launch there. They live on the
Oh,
inside.
you're talking right at the end of.
Right by the-
Cleveland?
by the big rocks.
Yeah, right
where
across
it's
from-
cut
Oh,
in.
yeah, yeah,
And,
That's-
and it
I-
doesn't to me, it doesn't matter if somebody wants to back in and put their boat in there, that's different than.
yeah, that's
Even if
different, but there have been people literally driving
Driving on
along the
and
beach.
parking and being there even and driving along the beach, and that's what.
I did look that up after that email, and it is
Illegal.
state law.
But,
Yeah,
Well, you can maintain and drive on the beach. You can by state law.
can you?
Yeah, City of Sheboygan drives loaders and dumps sand on there, all up and down the freeze there.
yeah.
But
That's
you can
different.
maintain it.
Yeah,
keep it
you
cleaned
can,
up.
Yeah.
yeah,
That is different, yeah.
so,
Not supposed to dig it out or anything.
but that's the extent of all of the correspondence and stuff, and I'll just scan that letter so everybody has a copy of it and make sure Parks and Rec has it. Their meeting.
Anybody have anything else?
I just had one question. I'd like to go to unless you guys see a different avenue, but especially for that west end dock, I'd like to start going to the harbor commission meetings, trying to push them along for that. I know it's always been kind of, hey, would you guys like to do this? Sure, but we're gonna push the township board. Tom, are you still on the harbor commission?
Yep.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
well, I was gonna try to make it this weekend. Normally, I guess I really don't have a question, but basically that's what I would like to do, to try to get that going, because I see there's so many benefits other than the fire side of it. We have to talk
Absolutely.
about, because, but
Frank, I'm a non-boater, I do not understand, I know we got that skid pier. And I know if you push it into the water right now, you're gonna push it so far out,
Right.
you're gonna have a hard, you have to walk through water to get to it. Don't they have extensions that go on that? I thought skid piers were designed to be for deep water or shallow water. I don't understand. And a lot of other
It's
people
just
don't
set up
as well.
for, they're pretty much made for a boat launch where the slope is a certain degree.
We talking about, when are we talking a launch? Are you talking where?
That's what they want as a launch.
Oh, they want, that's something that goes in. So the thing that we have, the skid pier, that's for boats to tie up to.
When you're loading and unloading off your trailer.
Right, so
Mhm.
we're not talking about that. Why isn't that in the water? That's what
Because there's not enough water at
Okay.
the end of it.
Okay, so.
It has to
Water
be,
level is too
it has to be
low.
dredged and cut out, but it needs to break water there before they can do anything, or else you'll never
And the
land.
launch, I can see now, okay, so, all right.
Tom, you can take a look at this. This is all the stuff that came from IP or UP
I asked them
engineering.
questions.
No,
it's
you don't.
not a dumb question.
But, one of these designs, and Brent can probably explain it better than I can, shows more of the permanent solution and it incorporates the skid pier that we currently have
Okay,
into that.
Mhm.
Because the best feasibility, and this explanation probably is better than anything. the best solution that we have out there because of currents, because of depths, because of everything else, is to actually drive some pilings and fill and utilize the skid pier along with it.
Brent, I haven't walked right out there in the water from where Brightwater Park dives out in the water.
Mhm.
But I'm sure you remember, we used to drive down, Van Horn's back a trailer down there where the old launch used to be, or logging dock was.
Yep.
And launch a boat, no problem. Is our property not lined up with that?
No, it is. You just gotta stay on the dock part and then you go out a little ways and then turn in and it's 14 foot.
I was
drop
gonna
right
say,
out.
cause
You can't come from the beach though, straight out. It's just too
Yeah.
monkey. If you go out the dock a little ways and then turn, well, you know where the old dock is,
Mhm.
and then turn in.
So I didn't know if that had filled in or our property wasn't close.
No,
to it.
it's deep. I brought I come in there with a pontoon boat right up until I couldn't go anymore. And I was 50 feet from the berm,
Yeah.
which is about what that dock is.
Is the launch cement then? Like they have, let's say, next by the old, build,
Yes.
Yeah.
it's cement.
So,
Okay.
I mean, it's definitely is looking at a more permanent solution that you don't have to worry about being pushed out with the ice or washed out with storms or,
Yeah, it needs to be
Um,
protected
and
before
it
you
needs
can
to
do
be
any
protected.
improvements.
Right, so
So-
currently, the reason the skid pier isn't in is because one, the water level is too low.
right.
And I
And
haven't taken
two-
it out there.
It's-
So
Because it's just gonna be in the way,
People
basically.
ask me all the time, I've gotten,
Yeah.
that's the number one question I've gotten since
Yeah.
I joined the board,
How
so.
are you gonna get to it?
Well, by
When is it going to
2
be in?
years
and
down
why
the road, there
isn't
won't
it
be
in?
any dock boards or anything else on it, cause they'll strip everything off and haul
That's-
it all home.
So that's
So
the other part of it.
it's just in the way out there, for anybody to go out and turn around until we finish I mean, it's a great asset to have for that site, but to put it out
Right.
there is kinda like,
Is irresponsible.
well, it's just in the way, and then what are you gonna do with it? It's not easy to move, it's pretty heavy.
Is there something, that you guys are aware of that we could do temporarily just for people, not necessarily to launch, but to bring in a boat, jump off?
They had a little, dock section on the old part of the dock where Monroe used to come in, he'd pick people up and take them to Mackinac.
Yeah.
He just had a dock section that sat out on the rocks and he could come right in, no problem, and land. You just have to walk out the
Yeah.
dock a little ways, and now it's high and dry.
I think our biggest
19 is
concern
better.
is MMR, like,
That too, but I mean, even temporarily, I mean, you know as well as I do, the amount of traffic to and from
Mhm.
us to Mackinac would increase a ton.
Mhm.
If there was a easy.
My
launch access,
concern
not
was that
necessarily
there
launch, but
probably
just tie up
wasn't,
so you can come and go real quick.
Yeah.
wasn't something that you could put out there that would be a temporary fix that was stable. I mean, that we could make stable. That's
okay, yeah.
where my concern was with it. How are you gonna keep it from,
Well, you had to take,
Have
that
it
have to
destroyed.
come in at the end of the year. I mean,
Okay.
it's a temporary dock, but that's what we had there for a long time. It could,
Mhm.
I mean,
So maybe next year, if this is the long-term plan, but maybe next year, next spring and summer, at least for MMR purposes, we could put the skid pier in.
well, you might be able to get it alongside it, but this is just a little dock section that goes in along the rock and you can
Okay.
come in against it.
Hmm.
Cause it's not, in order to get the skid pier in, you'd have to basically dredge out on the opposite side, so you can stay in the deep water with the boat.
Okay,
Okay.
And get the right pitch, or it's gonna wanna lean on its side.
It has to
little
be set
cut
perfectly.
isn't very wide, isn't it?
No, not where it comes in, it's like it's on that layout, it's like a little jetty that comes in that's deep. But it's 14 foot and
Oh, I know.
deeper at the
When we used to
whole way up
launch
there.
our rowboat there, I mean, your truck wheels would barely be touching the water and your boat's floating off the trailer.
Yeah, yeah, if you go out the dock and turn and drop it off, you can launch a 20 foot boat there.
Mhm.
But if you try to go all the way into the beach, you're gonna be
Yeah.
out past your doors in the water. Anyone have anything else?
Just one. What's the status of the river property? Haven't heard anything since last.
I can tell you, we've got one full payment and one partial payment left to have the land completely paid off,
Oh,
and then
So tentatively, when is calendar wise it's paid off?
next payment is in March, and then so March of
27.
27 will be completely paid off.
Then we can
Unless,
on how we approach
unless there's some
spending there.
reason that the or that the harbor commission can present to possibly do a double payment with next year and pay it off completely.
Yeah.
Did we ever get a deal with the guys that are putting up the new, tank over there for,
I talked to them,
yeah,
they're dumping gravel there for us, and when it's all over, they're just gonna
oh, cool. Right.
push it around
I just
for us.
rode by there on my bike the other day, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a huge improvement, but anything's gonna help.
It's mowed too.
Yeah, we'd like to get it brush hogged.
Yeah.
20 years from now, 25 years from now, whatever, people are gonna say, boy, that was a smart thing that they did.
Oh, you'll still have your friends.
Always gonna have credit.
Yeah, all right, if there's nothing else, then call the meeting at 7:45.
Okay.